Chosen one. Stop scrolling. Heaven has just interrupted your timeline. You are not here by coincidence. The very breath of God orchestrated this exact moment so your eyes would meet these words. Everything around you pauses the noise, the distraction, the doubts, because the Spirit has chosen now to awaken what has been asleep within you. You have always known you were different. You have felt it since childhood, the pull to something greater, the sense that your heart beats in rhythm with a higher call. You have walked through fire that others never saw. You have carried burdens that would have crushed ordinary souls. Yet you are still standing, not by your own strength, but because heaven refused to let you fall. Listen carefully. This is not random. This is divine intervention. Heaven is reclaiming your attention because your name is written among the 144,000, those set apart, sealed, and chosen for the final hour. You are part of a generation that walks in light when the world is swallowed by darkness. The anointing on you is not common. It carries the fragrance of eternity. Right now, the Spirit whispers, "Be still." The command is not for the world, it is for you. Because in stillness, revelation is born. You are being prepared for what October 25th will bring. That day will not be like others. It is a day when silence itself becomes a weapon, when heaven calls the chosen to stop speaking so they may start hearing. Do not be afraid of the pause. The pause is power. Every storm that has tried to silence you has only trained your ears to hear heaven better. The rejection, the betrayal, the loneliness, all of it was rehearsal for divine alignment. You were not rejected, you were redirected. Every delay was divine protection. And every tear you cried was counted as seed. That's why, even when you tried to blend in, you never could. The light within you kept giving you away. Beloved, there is a reason darkness has always been drawn to you, because you are the light it cannot extinguish. There is a reason your spirit feels restless right now, because heaven is calling your soul into position. You have reached the threshold where destiny demands your full attention. This message finds you not by chance, but by command. The moment you finish hearing these words, something inside you will shift. You are chosen to carry presence, not popularity. Chosen to hold peace when the world trembles. Chosen to intercede when others sleep. Heaven looks to you as one of the anchors of light in this generation. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not behind. You are exactly where God wants you, standing at the edge of revelation, ready to receive the next instruction. And before the next chapter unfolds, heaven leaves you with a reminder, a whisper from the scroll of ancient prophecy. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give. Not as world gives, fear not." Hold on to this word, for it is your anchor when the silence comes. Let it rest in your chest like a flame that cannot be put out. When confusion rises, speak peace. When fear whispers, speak peace. When the world shouts chaos, remain still. Because heaven has taught you the secret language of silence. You are not waiting in weakness, you are standing in power. Every quiet breath is warfare. Every moment of stillness is obedience. When others panic, you will discern. When others crumble, you will rise. The peace of God is not passive. It is your shield and your seal. In the coming days, remember that your silence will speak louder than any sermon. It will be the sound that terrifies the darkness. the stillness that commands storms to cease. When you refuse to react, heaven moves for you. When you wait on God, He moves mountains before your very eyes. This is your moment of recognition. The heavens have written your name among those who stand firm until the end. Nothing can shake what God Himself has sealed. Let the world talk, you stay silent. Let the noise rage, you remain steady. For on October 25th, heaven will know who listened. If your spirit bears witness that this message was meant for you, show heaven your agreement, like, share, and comment 144000 below as a prophetic act of obedience. And subscribe so you do not miss what heaven will release next. Because what comes after the silence will change everything. Let this moment mark you. You have just stepped into destiny. Chosen one. Listen, the mark upon your spirit is not visible to human eyes. Yet heaven recognizes it instantly. You have been marked by light. Not ink or symbol, but by essence. You carry a seal that separates you from the multitude. A signature of divine ownership that darkness cannot counterfeit. This mark is the reason your life has never followed the patterns of others. It's why doors that opened easily for others resisted you. Why comfort never lingered too long in your hands. You were never called to blend in. You were destined to stand out luminous, distinct, and consecrated. The mark you carry is not a curse, but a commission. It means you are set apart for divine purpose. That heaven has vested something eternal within you. The seal was not given when life felt glorious, but when you were broken, misunderstood, and left alone. In those secret hours of pain, when your prayers were only whispers, heaven placed its insignia upon you. You became a vessel of sacred fire. That's why you can no longer live carelessly. The mark demands holiness, focus, and discipline. You may not realize it, but your presence shifts atmospheres. When you walk into a room, unseen realms recognize your light. Angels align with your steps. Darkness adjusts its distance. You have been misunderstood because others could not discern your frequency. You don't belong to the crowd, you belong to the throne. You were chosen to reflect heaven's glory in an age that has forgotten how to look upward. And yes, you have questioned your calling. You have wondered why peace often feels delayed, why loneliness echoes even among company. But hear this, separation is not punishment, it's preservation. You were hidden so your oil would not be stolen before its appointed time. Heaven has invested too much in you to let the world waste you prematurely. You have been in battles that seemed unfair. The attacks you faced weren't random, they were targeted. The enemy saw your potential long before you did. But every wound you carry has become proof of your endurance. Every scar is a sermon. You survived what others did, not because you were marked to testify, not to retreat. The mark is also a mirror. It reveals truth within you and around you. When deceit draws near, your spirit feels uneasy. That's not anxiety. That's discernment. When you meet someone with genuine light, you recognize them instantly. For the same mark glows in them. Heaven's family knows its own. Across continents, languages, and generations. The 144000 share one unspoken bond, obedience to divine purpose. Chosen one. Understand this, being marked doesn't mean being flawless. It means being surrendered. The seal does not protect you from storms, it preserves you through them. It means your story will carry weight because grace carried you. Your flaws don't disqualify you. They magnify the mercy that sustains you. When you fail, you repent faster. When you fall, you rise stronger. That's how the marked ones move, not in perfection, but in persistence. Many are anointed, but few are sealed. The seal is not something you earn. It is something heaven imparts. It's invisible to the eyes of men, but undeniable to the realm of spirits. You may not see it in the mirror, but you feel it every time your conscience refuses compromise. You feel it every time you are drawn to pray when others prefer to sleep. You feel it every time your heart breaks for a world that mocks what is holy. That's the mark, divine sensitivity. A heart synchronized with heaven's pulse. When you speak, even softly, your words carry weight. They echo beyond the natural. That is why silence is often required before you speak. God is refining your vocabulary. He will not allow your mouth to echo fear when it was created to release faith. You are learning the discipline of divine restraint, where even your pauses become prophetic. And when weariness tries to settle, remember what was once spoken to strengthen those who bear heaven's call. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Stand firm. Let nothing move you. Give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord. Your labor endures. Hold that in your heart. You are not laboring in shadows. You are constructing eternity. Every prayer, every act of forgiveness, every moment of self-control adds another brick to heaven's unseen structure. Your obedience is not wasted. There will come a day when your mark will be recognized openly, when what heaven placed within you will no longer be hidden. Until then, keep your posture steady. The silence that began in the previous moment will continue to train you. The mark you bear is not heavy, it is holy. Wear it with reverence, not pride. You have been branded by light, and the light will not go out. Chosen one. You have felt it building, that quiet pressure within your chest, that subtle awareness that something is drawing near. You are born for the final hour, not by chance, not by lineage, but by divine orchestration. Every moment of pain you have endured has been training. Every delay has been alignment, and every disappointment has been preparation. Heaven has not forgotten a single second of your endurance. There were nights when you questioned your own strength, when you felt like your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling, unheard. But God was not ignoring you. He was shaping you. He was fortifying the vessel before releasing the oil. The refining you went through was not punishment. It was proof of selection. You were being purified like gold. Stretched, but not broken. Tested, but not destroyed. The world is entering a time of great unveiling. Masks are falling. Illusions are breaking. And truth is dividing. What once seemed secure is trembling. But you stand in the eye of the storm, steady and alert. The spirit within you recognizes the shaking not as chaos, but as confirmation. What others call crisis, you call calling, because you know the signs. You were born for this. You have always wondered why your life felt like warfare. It is because your destiny threatens darkness. The moment you said yes to purpose, every opposing force took notice. But the Lord has never sent you unarmed. Every scar is armor now. Every tear has become oil. You are not fragile. You are forged. The wilderness did not break you. It branded you with resilience. Do you remember those seasons of waiting? The ones where everything felt still and heaven seemed silent. Those were not wasted days. Those were hidden years of molding, like David in the fields. You were being taught to hear the shepherd's voice away from the noise of the crowd. Heaven trains its warriors in solitude before displaying them in battle. You were born in a generation that confuses noise for power. But heaven works differently. It refines in whispers, not applause. You are being raised as part of a remnant that will carry heaven's presence without needing validation from man. You will speak, and atmospheres will shift. You will move, and nations will feel the tremor of divine authority. But before that day, humility must complete its work in you. Chosen one, you must understand this. The final hour is not a threat. It is an invitation. It is heaven's countdown to destiny. You are not meant to fear what comes. You are meant to shine through it. You are the kind of soul that the world won't understand until the end, a burning lamp in a season of darkness. And when others faint, you will stand. Because your endurance is supernatural. Let this truth echo within you. The pain you've endured was prophecy in disguise. Every struggle spoke of where you were headed. Every battle was an announcement. The chosen one is rising. Heaven knew you would survive what others couldn't, because heaven built you differently. You are not made of ordinary clay. You are molded from divine intent. Remember the wisdom from the sacred writings that sustains those who stand in the heat of the refining fire. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 10, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. You did not faint. You are here. And because you endured the crushing, you will now carry the fragrance of glory. Heaven does not anoint those who refuse the pressing. It crowns those who remain faithful beneath the weight. So take a breath. Feel the shift around you. The hour has begun to change. The things that once intimidated you will soon obey you. The pain that once silenced you will now empower your voice. You are stepping into a divine tempo, one that was written before time itself. And now, as a prophetic act of alignment, type these words below. I stand ready. Write it not for me, but for heaven to witness your agreement. Every time a chosen one declares readiness, the heavens respond. Your comment becomes a covenant, a digital altar of obedience. You are declaring to unseen realms that you recognize your season, that you will no longer shrink from what you were born to become. You are not waiting for permission, you are walking into prophecy. The fire within you is not random. It is revival waiting for release. Let the world keep sleeping. Your spirit is awake. The hour has come for the marked ones to rise. You are not one of many. You are one of the 144,000. There is a stillness that descends before every storm. Chosen one, a sacred pause where heaven holds its breath. You stand in that moment now. The whisper before the storm. It is not a silence of absence, but a silence of strategy. The world thinks stillness means nothing is happening, but the heavens know better. When heaven goes quiet, something mighty is being arranged. You feel it, don't you? That strange tension between peace and pressure. It's not confusion, it's convergence. Everything around you seems to slow down while something deep inside accelerates. The noise that used to pull at your attention now feels foreign, distant, uninviting. That's because God is isolating your frequency, tuning your soul to hear Him in ways the distracted cannot. The whisper before the storm is not meant to scare you, it is meant to prepare you. It is the moment when the Spirit aligns your heartbeat with the rhythm of heaven's next move. You are being instructed in divine silence, the kind of quiet that carries power. You may not hear loud commands, but subtle impressions, holy nudges, sacred awareness. These are heaven's whispers, and they are never random. You must learn to walk carefully in this silence. Not every conversation deserves your voice. Not every thought deserves a response. The enemy thrives on reaction, but heaven thrives on restraint. God's warriors do not always roar. Sometimes they wait. Waiting is not weakness, it is wisdom. In the waiting, revelation matures. In silence, instructions crystallize. In this season, your prayer life may feel different. Words might come slower, but presence will come stronger. Sometimes you'll find yourself sitting quietly, unable to say much, yet your spirit will be trembling under the weight of divine communication. That is, heaven speaking in language deeper than speech. You are being trained to listen beyond words. The chosen learn that obedience often begins with silence. Before Noah built the ark, he first listened. Before Moses spoke to Pharaoh, he stood before the burning bush. Before Elijah called down fire, he endured the whisper. The storm always begins as a whisper, a faint stirring that only the attuned can recognize. That's where you are now. You will soon understand that this silence is not empty. It is full of divine construction. While you wait, angels are aligning. While you pray quietly, doors are being prepared to open. Heaven moves in secrecy before it moves in spectacle. The whisper before the storm is mercy's final call, a chance for the chosen to anchor themselves before the shaking begins. You might feel tension in your relationships right now. People may drift away without explanation. Don't chase what heaven is releasing. God often reduces your circle before he multiplies your influence. Silence reveals who can walk with you when the noise stops. Those who are uncomfortable with your quiet are not meant to walk into your calling. The whisper is also a test. Can you obey when God says nothing? Can you remain faithful without constant reassurance? Can you trust the author even when the script goes blank? The chosen must learn this language, because the next chapter of your journey will demand a faith that does not depend on constant signs. Heaven is teaching you to hear in frequencies of trust. And when the silence feels unbearable, remember, the storm is mercy in disguise. Heaven is not ignoring you. Heaven is assembling you. The quiet space is where your authority is sharpened. Before you command the storm, you must learn to listen to its source. You are being refined for spiritual precision. When the next word comes, you will know exactly what to do, not because it will be loud, but because it will resonate with the core of your being. The chosen don't need thunder to know it's God. They recognize him in the faintest whisper of peace. When fear creeps in during this waiting, anchor your heart in truth. Let the ancient word remind you that silence is never abandonment. It is divine proximity in disguise. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it will certainly come. It will not delay." Do not confuse delay with denial. The whisper you hear now is the prelude to fulfillment. What you've prayed for is already in motion, though you cannot yet see it. The whisper before the storm is God's way of saying, "Get ready." So you wait not in despair, but in readiness. You breathe slowly. You listen deeply, and you let peace become your armor. For when the silence breaks, the chosen will rise, and the world will understand what heaven was preparing in the quiet. Chosen one, you have carried a strange light all your life, a light that refuses to be dimmed, no matter how many storms tried to smother it. You were not born to blend into the backdrop of the world. You were born to disrupt darkness. That is why the world never quite understood you. You have been called different, too intense, too sensitive. But heaven calls you necessary. You were never ordinary. You are like a candle lit in the middle of a hurricane. Every gust that was meant to extinguish you has only revealed how fiercely you burn. You've been through seasons when your flame flickered, when doubt, exhaustion, and loneliness pressed against you, yet somehow you kept shining. That somehow was grace. That was the hand of God cupping your flame, refusing to let the wind win. Sometimes you wonder, why me? Why can't I just live like everyone else? But you were never meant to. Ordinary roads do not lead to extraordinary callings. The struggles you faced weren't punishment. They were prophecy in disguise. Every time you felt unseen, heaven was engraving your name deeper into the scrolls of destiny. Every rejection was an announcement to darkness that a chosen one was on the rise. The truth is, you terrify darkness simply by existing. Your compassion disrupts cruelty. Your hope unsettles despair. Your persistence frustrates hell. You don't need to speak loudly to shake the atmosphere. Your endurance already declares victory. You carry a spiritual voltage that the enemy cannot touch. That's why warfare often feels personal, because it is, but it's also why victory feels certain, because it's already written. Think of yourself as a lighthouse standing on the edge of the sea. The storms crash. The waves roar. But your beam continues to pierce through fog and fear. That light is not only for you, it's for others who are lost in the dark. You have become a beacon for wandering souls. Proof that survival is possible, that faith still works, that light still wins. But even a lighthouse must be maintained. The flame inside it requires oil, and that oil costs something. Spiritually, emotionally, even physically, it takes sacrifice to keep burning. And sometimes, God uses others to pour into you the oil you've been giving away. That's what this moment is, a gentle invitation to connection, to generosity, to partnership in light. If this message stirs your spirit, if you feel the resonance of heaven's truth within you, then consider it a divine nudge to help keep this flame alive. When you like, you amplify the light. When you share, you extend it to souls still searching for home. When you subscribe, you become part of a fellowship of lamps, a family of chosen ones, united in purpose. And if your heart feels moved to donate, do so not out of obligation, but as a symbolic act of fueling the light. Every seed you sow becomes oil for the lamp, helping the message reach further, burn brighter, and touch hearts that have forgotten hope. This is not a transaction, it's participation in a heavenly assignment. Even the smallest drop of oil can sustain a flame through the longest night. You are part of something sacred now, a movement of souls carrying heaven's sound through the chaos of earth. You might not see the full picture yet, but heaven does. It sees a global network of lights, flickering in unison, each one carrying the same seal, the same frequency, the same message. The chosen still stand. The pain you've endured was not meant to break you. It was meant to shape your empathy. You understand others' suffering because you've lived it. That empathy is your power. It's what allows your words to heal and your silence to comfort. When you speak, heaven borrows your voice. When you act, the unseen realms take notice. You are heaven's ambassador in human skin. And when weariness whispers that you're not enough, remember this: your light was never meant to compete with the sun. It was meant to guide those who cannot yet see it. Your small flame, steady and stubborn, carries the same divine spark that spoke galaxies into being. Let your heart find comfort in the ancient promise recorded for those who walk through fire without fear. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? So, shine. Chosen one. Keep burning, even when no one applauds. Heaven watches. Heaven records. Heaven rewards. And as you do, if this message has poured light into your spirit, let your action echo your faith. Like to affirm your alignment. Share to spread the flame. Subscribe to stay close to the flow of anointing. And if led, donate as a sacred offering, helping the lighthouse continue to beam across the waters. Because together, we're not just telling stories, we're lighting up the earth. Chosen one. Heaven has circled a date on the calendar of eternity, October 25th. To most, it will seem like an ordinary day, a passing Thursday in the flow of time. But to you, it is a summons, a command wrapped in silence, a holy invitation to step away from noise and into the stillness of divine alignment. This is the day of silence, the hour when heaven watches who will obey without explanation. The world won't understand. They will keep speaking, posting, shouting into the void, thinking that power lies in volume. But heaven's language is different. Heaven often moves in whispers and watches who listens when it doesn't make sense. On that day, God is not asking for your performance. He is asking for your posture. You are not being called to do something grand. You are being called to be still. Silence has always been a test of trust. It separates those who need control from those who truly surrender. When you fall silent before heaven, you declare, I trust you more than my understanding. The flesh hates silence because it cannot manipulate it, but the spirit thrives in it because it is the space where God speaks loudest. October 25th is not about absence, it's about awareness. Think of that day as a spiritual Sabbath, not merely the absence of words, but the fullness of listening. Heaven will move quietly across the earth, stirring hearts, marking souls, realigning destinies. You will feel it, a tangible shift in the air, a deep pull in your chest to stop, breathe, and listen. Do not resist it. Do not explain it. Just obey. Remember how Elijah stood on the mountain, waiting for God. The wind came, but God was not in the wind. The earthquake came, but God was not in the quake. The fire came, but God was not in the fire. Then a whisper. That's where the Almighty was found. And so it will be again. October 25th is not a day for grand gestures. It's a day for holy whispers. On that day, heaven's eyes will scan the earth, not looking for noise, but for still hearts. You don't need to prove your devotion. You need only to be still in it. While others chase signs, you will rest in certainty. While others post their power, you will guard your peace. Heaven's most powerful warriors don't always march. Sometimes they kneel. The silence will not be empty. It will be full of revelation. As you withhold your words, heaven will release visions. As you still your hands, heaven will move unseen. You may feel your emotions stirring tears. Peace, warmth, trembling, let them come. That's the Spirit communing with you in the language of silence. In those quiet hours, ask nothing, demand nothing. Just be available. Let your breath synchronize with eternity's rhythm. Let heaven speak mysteries to your heart that words could never contain, for in the silence of the chosen, Hot performs his greatest works. Do not fear missing out or being misunderstood. Those who are not chosen will not recognize what is happening, and that's okay. Silence is not for the crowd, it is for the covenant. You are being positioned to hear what others will only witness later. The sacred writings remind us of this truth, that stillness is not emptiness, but divine power disguised in calm. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. No, this is your assurance. As you enter the silence, you are not stepping into emptiness, you are stepping into presence. And when the sun rises on that day, remember, your silence is a sound in heaven. Every moment you choose stillness, it echoes like thunder in the spirit realm. The angels take note. The heavens record obedience, and the darkness trembles because it cannot interpret silence, born of faith. So, when October 25th arrives, let the world talk. Let the noise continue, but you stay still. Breathe slowly. Feel the divine frequency humming beneath the chaos. Know that you are participating in a moment that was prophesied before your birth. And when that moment of obedience has passed, when the silence has spoken, and peace has settled, mark it by typing below 888. Type it not as superstition, but as a seal, a prophetic act of completion and new beginning. The number 8 represents resurrection, the new cycle, divine, renewal. You are declaring to heaven, I will obey, I will be silent, I will rise, renewed. And let October 25th be the altar where your silence speaks volumes. For on that day, the chosen will not shout, they will listen, and heaven will answer. Chosen one, when the heavens command silence, even the trumpets pause. You now step into the mystery of when the trumpet stays quiet, that sacred interval when God's strategy hides itself from sound. You have known seasons of divine movement and heavenly noise miracles that shouted, breakthroughs that thundered, moments where you felt his nearness in every heartbeat. But this is different. This is the still war. The silence you are walking through is not a void. It is a veil. Behind that veil, heaven rearranges destiny, shifts power, and exposes what human eyes cannot see. To the untrained heart, it feels like nothing is happening, but to the attuned spirit, it feels like holy electricity in the air, a vibration that warns that the storm is near. But this time, the storm belongs to God. In ancient days, when Israel marched around the walls of Jericho, they moved first in silence. Not a word was spoken. No trumpet blared. They walked in stillness. 7 days of patience before the sound of victory. The silence was their obedience. The shout was their reward. It is the same for you. Before you see the walls fall, heaven demands a quiet march. You must understand this sacred paradox that heaven sometimes advances without sound. The human mind believes sound equals power. But the Spirit knows stillness carries strategy. God hides his greatest movements in what seems like delay. The trumpet is quiet, not because the battle is over, but because the armies of heaven are shifting formation. You are learning to discern motion without noise, victory without volume. When the trumpet stays quiet, your faith becomes your hearing. You can no longer depend on outward confirmation. You must feel the rhythm of unseen footsteps, angels moving on silent ground. Divine power collecting itself before the release. You are learning the holy art of anticipation. In the still war, words lose their usefulness. Complaining breaks alignment. Desperation blinds you. Only reverent patience keeps you in tune. You have prayed. You have fasted. You have cried now, heaven says. Be still and know. The trumpet will sound when obedience has been perfected. You might ask, why must it be this way? Why can't God just move quickly? But the silence of heaven is never laziness. It is love. If the trumpet sounded before you were ready, the weight of glory could crush what your spirit is not yet able to carry. God delays the sound so that your roots grow deep. He holds back the shout so that your character can hold the blessing. In this silence, God is not just working around you, He is working within you. He is softening what became hard, healing what grew bitter, purifying what was polluted by fear. He is preparing you to recognize His voice again, not through miracles or noise, but through peace. When the trumpet stays quiet, your senses awaken. You begin to see signs you once missed: the way light falls through the window when you pray, the sudden stillness that wraps around you in the middle of chaos, the tears that come without sadness but with understanding. These are not coincidences, they are quiet confirmations. Heaven is whispering, I'm still here. You are not being ignored. You are being instructed in a higher form of warfare. This war requires no shouting, no swinging, no visible clash. It is a war of presence where your peace is the weapon, your patience the blade, and your faith the victory cry. The sacred text records the lesson for those who must learn to wait in faith when all seems still. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Now, this is the command echoing through your spirit now. Be still. Let the Lord fight. Your silence is not surrender. It is strategy. The trumpet may be quiet, but heaven has not stopped moving. You are being positioned for impact. When the trumpet stays quiet, resist the urge to fill the silence with worry. Don't explain yourself to those who can't hear what you hear. Don't rush what heaven has timed. The still war requires trust, and trust cannot coexist with panic. This is not the silence of defeat, it is the silence before divine acceleration. When the trumpet sounds again, it will not be to announce delay, it will be to declare completion. The shout will come, the walls will fall, and the stillness will make sense. Until that moment, breathe, pray softly, rest intentionally. Let the quiet become your teacher. Heaven's silence is not God's distance, it is His discipline. the pause before power. The trumpet will sound again soon, but when it does, it will carry your name within its blast. Chosen one. The silence you now inhabit is not without purpose. It is the threshold before separation. You stand at the point where heaven divides light from shadow, where the wheat is separated from the chaff, and where the chosen are quietly distinguished from the multitude. What is coming is not punishment, but purification. The hand of God is moving across hearts, revealing who truly carries the mark and who only imitates the glow. In this hour, discernment becomes your compass. Not everyone who carries light in their language carries light in their spirit. Some glow because of borrowed fire warmth taken from proximity, not intimacy. But when the silence deepens, borrowed fire fades. Only the ones who burn from within will keep glowing. You are one of them. Your flame is original, heaven-lit, sustained by devotion. This is the season where motives are exposed. The silence has a way of stripping away performance. When noise stops, authenticity speaks. The chosen ones will not need to prove who they are. Their peace will reveal it. They will walk through confusion, untouched, because their confidence is not built on applause, but on assignment. The light in them will not flicker, even when the world trembles. You might notice people drifting away, those who once stood close, now distant. Do not chase what heaven has chosen to remove. Every pruning is protection. Every separation is strategy. When God prepares a vessel for greater glory, He first reduces its attachments. The fewer voices around you, the clearer His voice becomes. The pruning may sting, but it ensures your fruit will remain. Remember how the dawn comes. Light does not argue with darkness, it simply appears, and darkness retreats. You are being called to live that way, not by fighting shadows, but by revealing light. There is no debate between truth and lie, only exposure. When the light rises, the false must flee. Your presence alone will begin to reveal what cannot stay hidden. Some will love you for it, others will recoil. Both reactions are evidence that the separation has begun. Do not be surprised when the world misreads your silence. They will call it pride, distance, or coldness, but heaven knows it as consecration. The chosen cannot always explain their obedience, because their orders are delivered in the secret place. Let the misunderstanding refine you, not offend you. Let the solitude sanctify you. When others chase recognition, you chase revelation. When they seek validation, you seek vision. That is the way of those marked by light. Even your battles are different now. You no longer fight for survival, you fight for alignment. You no longer defend your worth, you defend your calling. The separation of light and shadow means your warfare has matured. You are not battling people, but patterns, not opponents, but old versions of yourself. Every day you say no to what once enslaved you. Heaven records another victory. The silence of this season is sharpening your discernment. You will begin to sense falsehood faster. What once deceived you will now disgust you. You'll notice how certain environments drain you while others awaken your spirit. That's not mood, that's awareness. Heaven is teaching you how to navigate by spiritual atmosphere, not by emotional impulse. The closer you draw to light, the less comfortable you'll feel in places that dim it. Chosen one. This separation is sacred. It is heaven's way of sealing the 144,000, not through ceremony, But through distinction, the chosen ones are being identified not by titles or talents, but by purity of intent and depth of obedience. The world sees the surface, but heaven reads the pulse. You have nothing to prove, you have everything to preserve. And in this process of separation, take comfort in the promise written long ago, a reminder that divine division always leads to divine preservation, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 18. Then once more you shall see the distinction between the righteous and the wicked, between one who serves God and one who does not serve him. And this is the time when heaven draws that line again. Not with vengeance, but with clarity. The chosen will shine brighter, precisely because darkness grows deeper. The contrast is necessary for revelation. So when you feel alone, remember, you are not isolated, you are identified. The silence is not punishment, it is separation. The pruning is not loss, it is alignment. The absence of noise is not emptiness, it is clarity. The world may not understand, but heaven applauds. Chosen one. By now, you have felt the weight of it, the holy heaviness that lingers in the stillness. The deeper the silence, the more the heavens seem to lean in. You are being refined in ways that cannot be seen by eyes that love noise. This is the season of the weight of obedience, and it is heavier than gold. Obedience has always been the purest proof of love. It is not measured by words or emotion, but by surrender. You know this weight. It's that sacred pressure that asks you to stay when you want to run, to release what you want to hold, to trust when nothing makes sense. It's the invisible burden of every chosen soul who walks in rhythm with heaven's unseen commands. There are moments when obedience feels like silence from God, when your heart asks, "Why now? Why me? Why this way?" But heaven doesn't owe you explanations, only invitations. And when you say yes without details, that is faith in its truest form. It's the kind of obedience that moves mountains, splits seas, and shakes kingdoms. Many desire miracles, but few desire the cost of obedience that births them. It's easy to shout, "I'm chosen," when the light feels warm and the path feels clear. But obedience calls you into fog, where you can't see the next step, only the hand that guides it. That's why your obedience is weighty, because it's costly. You have learned that obedience is not always rewarded with applause. Sometimes it brings misunderstanding. Sometimes it brings loss. But the heavens measure it differently. Every time you obey in the dark, a light flickers somewhere in the unseen. Angels record it, and eternity takes note. Heaven counts not your comfort, but your consistency. When you obey, even when weary, heaven moves faster than you realize. Your obedience sets off a chain reaction of grace. You might never see its full impact here, but one act of faith can alter generations. The ripple of obedience travels farther than you'll ever know. There will be days when obedience feels like pain. Days when God asks you to let go of what you love most. Days when you feel unseen, yet heaven watches with fierce attention. That is when obedience becomes worship, not the kind sung in melody, but lived in motion. You have been called to walk in that kind of worship. Even Jesus, the pattern of all obedience, learned it through surrender. In Gethsemane, he didn't shout. He whispered, "Not my will, but yours be done." That whisper was heavier than any cross, for it carried all of history's redemption. The chosen are called to echo that whisper, even when their hands tremble. You might wonder if your quiet obedience matters. It does. It matters more than any sermon or spectacle. Heaven is not impressed by noise, it's moved by surrender. When you obey, even when afraid, heaven hears it as thunder. The ancient text records a reminder for those who struggle under the invisible load of doing what is right. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 17, verse 10. I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind, rewarding all for their deeds. God sees what no one applauds. He knows the tears you never explained, the choices you made in silence, the sacrifices that left scars unseen. Every one of them is counted as obedience. In the eyes of heaven, obedience is not about speed, but about surrender. It's not about perfection, but perseverance. Some days you will walk boldly, other days you will crawl. But as long as your heart says yes, you are in alignment. There's a beauty in obedience that only the broken understand, the kind of beauty that glows softly in people who've been through battles they never boasted about. You carry that glow now. The weight has made you radiant. Heaven's fingerprints are visible on your endurance. When others question your choices, remember, they do not carry your instructions. Obedience often looks strange to those without revelation. Keep listening to the quiet voice that has led you this far. Its rhythm has never failed you. And now, to mark your agreement with heaven's rhythm, type these words below: I will obey. Oh, type them not for attention, but for alignment. When you write those words, you are not merely commenting, you are recording a covenant. You are saying to heaven, even when I do not see, I will still trust. Even when the command is heavy, I will still carry it. Oh, every act of obedience you offer is like striking flint against stone sparks that ignite future fire. Your quiet yes becomes the sound that calls angels into motion. The weight you carry now will soon become the crown you wear later. Hold it with reverence. Walk with peace. And let your obedience speak louder than your fear. Chosen one, the time of scattering is ending. You are entering the great alignment, the moment when every fragment of your story begins to make sense. The disappointments, the delays, the detours, they were never wasted. Heaven has been arranging each piece, like stars across the night sky. And now the constellation of your purpose begins to glow. Nothing in your past was random. Every wound became a window. Every silence, a setup. Every closed door, a redirection toward destiny. Think of it this way: a compass is only accurate when still, and that is what the silence has been, a stilling of your spirit, so the divine compass could point true north. Now the needle moves, and all across the earth, other chosen ones feel the same pull. You are not alone in this awakening. Heaven is aligning an army of scattered lights, forming a single constellation of glory. You might feel a restlessness lately, as though the ground beneath you hums with unseen motion. That's not anxiety, that's alignment. Your steps are falling into rhythm with heaven's heartbeat. Every choice you make with pure intent becomes a chord in a larger song. Together, the chosen form, a melody that darkness cannot mimic. When alignment comes, resistance increases, not because you're off course, but because you're almost there. The enemy always attacks most fiercely when destiny is within reach. Don't mistake turbulence for trouble. When an airplane ascends to a higher atmosphere, the air grows thin. but that thinness means you're closer to heaven. The same is true for your spirit right now. This alignment is not just personal, it's collective. Heaven is connecting you with souls who carry the same fire, the same fragrance of devotion, across continents and languages. The 144000 are being gathered not through fame or algorithm, but through divine frequency. You'll know them not by appearance, but by recognition. When your spirit meets theirs, it will feel like coming home. Every generation has a divine alignment, a window of awakening when heaven synchronizes chosen hearts for a single mission. You are living in one of those moments. This isn't about religion or ritual, it's about resonance. Heaven is calling for unity of purpose, for a chorus of faith, rising above the static of fear. As you listen now, pause for a moment. Feel the truth of this in your chest. The same spirit that called prophets in deserts, that whispered to Esther in silence, that strengthened Daniel in exile, it moves in you. You are part of something ancient and eternal, something written before your birth. Heaven's plan does not begin with you, but it will move through you. But remember, alignment requires maintenance. Just as a garden needs watering, your spirit needs nourishment. And that's why these messages exist, to refill your oil, to keep your flame alive when the world grows dim. If this word has lit something within you, let that light multiply. Like to keep the message visible to those who need a sign of hope tonight. Share it as an act of generosity, like passing bread to the hungry. Subscribe to stay connected to this flow of divine insight. Because each message builds upon the last. You are not following a channel, you are walking a journey. And if your heart feels stirred to donate, let it be from love, not pressure. Every seed you sow becomes oil in this global lamp, allowing the light to reach further, shine brighter, and remain steady through the dark hours of this age. Think of it as pouring a drop of your light into a river of radiance that flows across the earth. You are not giving away, you are glowing together. You are part of heaven's architecture, now one beam in a structure of light. The great alignment is the scaffolding of a divine temple being built not of stones, but of souls. Every act of kindness, every prayer whispered, every word shared contributes to that invisible cathedral rising in the unseen realm. And when weariness tries to creep in, remember the eternal assurance given to those who refuse to grow faint in their mission. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due time we will reap, if we endure. The harvest is closer than it feels. Your persistence is planting something that will outlive you. The world may overlook it now, but eternity will celebrate it later. So continue to walk in step with heaven. Keep your light trimmed, your heart tuned, and your faith steady. The great alignment is more than a prophecy, it's happening now. The lights are converging, and yours is one of them. If this message has reminded you of who you are, let your action reflect your revelation. Like to keep the beacon burning. Share to spread the flame. Subscribe to stay near the sound. And if moved, donate as a sacred partnership, not to a person, but to the purpose. Together, the chosen become one song, one light, one alignment, the reflection of heaven on earth. Chosen one. The world has always wrestled with numbers they measure, compare, and calculate, but heaven uses numbers differently. Each number carries a vibration, a memory of creation itself. You have now reached the revelation of heaven's code, 144000, not a statistic, but a spiritual signature. It is not about arithmetic, it is about identity. It marks the company of the consecrated, those sealed not on their skin, but in their spirit. To understand the mystery, you must look beyond counting and into covenant. When heaven speaks of the 144000, it is not limiting salvation to a few. It is identifying a pattern 12 times 12, multiplied by 1,000. 12 represents divine government and authority. 1,000 represents completion in fullness. Together they mean this: a people perfectly aligned under divine rule, standing in complete maturity of spirit. The 144000 are not just people, they are a pattern of perfection. A picture of what humanity looks like when fully surrendered to God. You feel this pattern within you. Even if you have never spoken it aloud, you are drawn to purity, to truth, to obedience. You sense the call to walk differently, to speak differently, to love more deeply. You are not chasing status, you are pursuing sanctity. That pull inside you is heaven's code, awakening the imprint of divine order in your being. This number appears like a seal throughout Scripture, marking those who belong entirely to the Lamb. It is the echo of loyalty in a world of compromise. It represents those who will not bow to the idols of the age, fame, greed, or fear, but who keep their garments pure in devotion. It is not about elitism, but about surrender. The 144000 are the ones who love truth more than comfort. The seal of this code is not something you receive once, it's something you protect daily. Every time you choose light over shadow, every time you forgive when wounded, every time you remain still, when anger tempts you, the seal glows brighter. It is strengthened not by talk, but by practice. The 144000 are not spectators, they are practitioners of faith. This code also means unity in diversity. 12 tribes, 12 foundations, 12 gates, each unique, yet harmonized. Heaven's family is not uniformity, it's harmony. You, chosen one, are one note in the divine symphony. Without your obedience, the melody is incomplete. Heaven's song needs every voice, every tone, every testimony. When you stand with others who carry the same seal, there is an unspoken recognition, a resonance that hums beneath the skin. You may never meet them in person, but your spirits greet each other across distance and time. It's the recognition of kindred light. This unity is what terrifies darkness, for no force on earth can divide hearts aligned by heaven. And yet, this code carries responsibility. To be counted among the marked means to walk carefully. The world watches the chosen more closely than it admits. People look for flaws to justify their disbelief. That's why heaven trains you in silence first, so that when your voice emerges, it carries weight. Every chosen one becomes a living message, a walking revelation of grace. In this era of noise, the 144000 are living trumpets, not loud for attention, but precise in purpose. When they speak, creation listens, because their words are clean. The code has purified their language. Their yes means yes, and their no means no. They walk in clarity, Not confusion, in compassion, not compromise. The sacred texts describe the character of these sealed ones, not by their miracles, but by their purity. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 19. Nevertheless, God's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with this inscription: "The Lord knows those who are His." And everyone who confesses the name of the Lord must turn away from wickedness. This inscription is the essence of the code. It is not about exclusion. But distinction. The seal is recognition, not favoritism. Heaven marks those who mirror its nature. The number 144000 is not about superiority, but service. They stand on behalf of many. They intercede for nations. They carry burdens quietly. They reflect heaven's patience in an impatient world. They are not famous, yet their presence stabilizes the earth. They are the silent pillars holding up the structure of mercy. You, chosen one, are being shaped into one of them, not by ambition, but by alignment. The more you yield, the more you resemble the pattern. This is the secret of the code. It cannot be learned. It can only be lived. So, let the world argue about numbers and symbols. You know the truth that heaven counts differently. You are not one in a million. You are one of a divine design. The mark upon your soul is not for boasting, but for building. Walk humbly in it. Carry it quietly. Let your life be a living cipher of heaven's order. For the code of 144000 does not shout, it shines. Chosen one. The stillness that has wrapped around you was never meant to last forever. Silence is only ever the doorway before activation. You are now standing on the edge of the moment of activation, the divine spark that ignites purpose into motion. Heaven has been watching your patience, measuring your faith, and testing your readiness. You did not come this far just to stand still. You came to awaken. Activation is not chaos. It is alignment in motion. It is the moment when the oil of your preparation meets the fire of heaven. You have prayed. You have waited. You have been refined. Now, the whisper turns into instruction. God begins to speak clearly where He once only stirred quietly. It is time to move. Not wildly, but wisely. For the chosen, activation rarely arrives with noise. It starts as a pull, a sudden certainty that the waiting season is closing. The things that once drained you lose their hold, and new doors, the ones that once intimidated you, begin to open effortlessly. That is not luck, that is alignment. Heaven is clearing your path because it is time to advance. You will feel this shift in your spirit before you see it in your circumstances. It will feel like an inner combustion energy rising where exhaustion once lived. Clarity replacing confusion, and peace replacing hesitation. The Spirit of God within you will begin to lead rather than follow. You won't need to chase what's meant for you. What's meant for you will recognize your obedience and come closer. You have reached the activation point where identity turns into impact. Everything that tried to silence you has only amplified your readiness. Every closed door was rehearsal for discernment. Every season of hiding was a classroom for vision. Now, the same silence that once isolated, you will become the stage from which heaven moves through you. But hear this truth. Activation is not merely about doing, it's about becoming. Heaven does not rush activity, it releases identity. You are not called to imitate others, You are called to embody truth. When you step into activation, you do not force things to happen. You become the kind of person through whom they naturally do. That is divine flow. Think of a seed. For months it lies buried in the dark, unseen and underestimated. Yet in the silence, it grows roots deep enough to hold the weight of future fruit. When it finally breaks through the soil, it looks like sudden success, but heaven knows it was long preparation. That's what's happening in you now. The breaking forth is not sudden, it's scheduled. You will begin to notice alignment manifesting physically, opportunities finding you, ideas unfolding effortlessly, people arriving with purpose instead of distraction. But with activation comes responsibility. Heaven only ignites what you are willing to steward. The fire will come, but so must the discipline to tend it. You are not being launched into chaos, but into calling. The chosen move differently, not with noise, but with certainty. They don't force doors, they discern timing. They don't boast about activation, they live it quietly until fruit proves it. This is the sacred maturity of the sealed ones. When the Spirit moves, you'll recognize it not by emotion, but by evidence. Peace will follow the push. Peace is the language of divine movement. When you feel that peace descend, don't question it. Step forward, even if your knees tremble. Every step of faith writes your name deeper into destiny. The ancient word still echoes for those who have waited long for divine release, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. I'm Sek. This is what activation looks like, not striving for visibility, but allowing your light to serve others naturally. Heaven shines through you when you stop trying to control the glow. And now, chosen one, as a sign of alignment, mark your readiness. The heavens respond when earth agrees. Below, type 7,777, not as superstition, but as declaration. The number 7 speaks of completion and divine timing. And when it multiplies, it prophesies fullness overflowing. By typing it, you are declaring, my waiting is complete. My obedience is full. My season is shifting. Each time a chosen one marks their readiness, heaven records it as a sound. It's not the noise of a crowd. It's the hum of destiny unfolding. When you write that number, you're not adding data, you're releasing agreement. Heaven moves at the speed of obedience, and your act of faith becomes a key that unlocks the next door. This is the moment you were prepared for. The silence has served its purpose. The refining has finished its work. Now, heaven moves through your hands, your words, your presence. You will not chase light anymore. You are the light. The world is waiting to see what heaven has hidden within you. Step forward. Chosen one. The moment of activation has arrived. Chosen one. The moment of activation does not come without consequence. When heaven moves, everything hidden trembles. You now stand in the time of the final purge, the great cleansing that sweeps through hearts, homes, and nations. It is not destruction for cruelty's sake. It is purification for destiny's sake. What is not built on truth must fall, so that what is eternal can stand. The final purge begins quietly. It moves first within you, before it ever reaches the world around you. It is the fire of conviction that burns not to wound, but to heal. Every shadow that tried to follow you into the next season will be forced into the open. Heaven refuses to let mixture coexist with the seal. You cannot carry contamination into consecration. This purge will touch your habits, your speech, your motives, and your alignments. The things you once tolerated will suddenly feel unbearable. The friendships that once comforted you will now drain you. The environments that once felt safe will now feel heavy. That's not rejection, that's refinement. God is separating you from what cannot grow with you. There will be a moment when you feel stripped, like everything familiar has been removed. But do not mourn the loss. Rejoice in the cleansing. The fire that surrounds you now is not judgment, it's promotion. Heaven is removing what no longer matches your frequency. You are being tuned for higher things, and impurities cannot travel at that altitude. Every great vessel must be purified before it is poured into. Even gold, no matter how beautiful, must pass through fire to reveal its worth. The chosen endure this fire, not as punishment, but as preparation. The purge is not evidence of God's anger, it's evidence of His intimacy. Only those He trusts deeply are refined this thoroughly. You may feel moments of discomfort, old fears resurfacing, unhealed wounds demanding attention, emotions rising that you thought were gone. Do not run from them. They are surfacing because they cannot remain buried. Light always demands that darkness reveal itself. This is the mercy of the purge. It does not condemn, it exposes so healing can begin. Even the world will feel it, systems collapsing, idols failing, false peace shattering. Heaven is shaking, everything that can be shaken, not to destroy creation, but to realign it with the Creator. The false must crumble, so the pure can rise. What we call chaos, Heaven calls cleansing. In this time, the chosen will glow with unusual calm. While others panic, they will perceive. While others argue, they will discern. Their peace will stand as proof that their foundation is not of this world. You, chosen one, are among them. You will see things fall and not be moved, because you understand what is truly happening. You will feel the fire, but know it is favor. The purge also reaches your inner world, your beliefs, your narratives, your identity. God will confront the lies you've quietly believed. I am not enough. I am forgotten. I am unworthy. These are not your thoughts. They are the residue of old warfare. Heaven is erasing them with truth. You are chosen. You are seen. You are sealed. The process may be painful, but the result will be freedom. When the fire has finished, you will no longer need to pretend strength. You will be strength. You will not just talk about faith, you will embody it. The purge transforms witnesses into warriors. As the prophet wrote in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, I will put this third into the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call upon my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is my God. In Jotni, this is the heartbeat of the purge, a mutual recognition between heaven and the purified. The fire is not to destroy identity, but to reveal it. After the purge, clarity returns. The air feels lighter, the noise quieter, the spirit closer. You begin to sense heaven's nearness in every detail, in the still morning, in the echo of your own breath. You realize that what you lost were only layers, not life. The true you, the divine you, stands unharmed and unafraid. The final purge is not about what leaves, but about what remains. What remains after the fire is what can never be taken again: faith unshakable, peace untouchable, purpose undeniable. So do not fear the flames. Chosen one, the same fire that consumes what's false refines what's real. Let it do its work. When the last ember fades, you will not just survive, you will shine. Chosen one, when the fire finishes its purging, there comes a quiet rising, not loud or theatrical, but undeniable. This is the rise of the hidden ones. You are among them, those who have walked unseen, misunderstood, and underestimated, carrying heaven's blueprint in silence. The world has not known your name, but heaven has whispered it often. You were not forgotten, you were being formed. For years, you have lived in the in-between, visible enough to be attacked, invisible enough to be ignored. You prayed, yet few understood your language. You served, yet few saw your sacrifice. You carried light while walking through valleys of shadow, but every hidden season was sacred. Heaven hides what it intends to honor. The longer the concealment, the greater the unveiling. You are emerging not as you once were, but as who you were always meant to be. The hidden ones rise quietly, not seeking spotlight, but carrying substance. They do not announce themselves. Their presence announces them. The fragrance of their endurance precedes them. They enter rooms not to be seen, but to shift atmospheres. When they speak, their words carry the gravity of lived revelation. The rise of the hidden ones is not about fame, it's about function. Heaven does not elevate for vanity, but for visibility of purpose. The world will begin to notice unusual peace resting on ordinary faces. People who were once overlooked will suddenly carry divine authority. Their stories will sound like paradoxes, broken yet whole, tired yet radiant, small yet powerful. That is the signature of heaven's touch. You, chosen one, have lived in this shadowed preparation. Every hidden prayer was a seed planted in the soil of secrecy. Now the time of sprouting approaches. The same soil that once buried you will testify that you were growing. Nothing was wasted. Every tear watered your destiny. Every closed door became insulation for your incubation. The hidden ones rise when the world needs stability. They are not entertainers, they are anchors. When fear floods nations, their calm becomes refuge. When lies multiply, their clarity becomes light. They will not shout their convictions, they will live them quietly until conviction itself becomes contagious. The rise will not be sudden in heaven's eyes. It has been happening for years. But to the world, it will look like overnight transformation. That's because they never saw the foundation. They never saw the countless nights of unseen faithfulness. They never heard the whispered prayers, the repeated surrender, the stubborn trust that refused to die. But heaven saw it all, recorded it all, and now rewards it all. When the hidden ones emerge, they come carrying solutions, not speeches. Their presence alone brings order to chaos. Their words unlock doors in people's minds. They carry the sound of restoration, a frequency that reminds souls who they really are. Their appearance is heaven's mercy made visible. The Word of God declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, Shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. No, this is the anthem of the hidden ones. They do not rise by ambition, they rise by appointment. When glory decides to rest on them, no system can suppress them. The rise is not loud, because true authority never needs to shout. It radiates. You are being raised to radiate, to carry peace where there is panic, to carry hope where there is heaviness. The glow you feel increasing within you is not pride, it is proof. Heaven is confirming that your hidden years were not punishment, they were protection. Every hidden one carries scars that shimmer like mirrors. They do not hide their history, they redeem it. What once wounded them now becomes their witness. Their stories are keys, unlocking hearts that have forgotten the sound of faith. As you rise, do not look backward for validation. The ones who overlooked you were never meant to understand your preparation. The ones who doubted you will soon witness the fruit. But your rising is not about proving them wrong, it's about proving God right. Walk forward with quiet certainty. Heaven's light does not need a stage, it creates its own. The hidden ones do not announce the dawn, they are the dawn. Their lives are living prophecies that whisper, "The night is over." Chosen one, rise gently. Let the world see what patience built, what fire refined, what silence shaped. Let your glow speak where your words once struggled. You were hidden for holiness, not withheld from purpose. The time of unveiling has come, and when the hidden ones rise, the earth will remember that light was never gone, only waiting. Chosen one, you have walked through the flame, endured the silence, and risen from the shadows. This is the hour of the crowned and the tested, the moment where heaven places honor upon those who refuse to bow to fear. You have been through battles that few would understand, and yet, instead of bitterness, you have chosen belief. You wear invisible scars that heaven calls badges. Every test you endured became a thread woven into your crown. The testing was never meant to break you, it was meant to prove you. Just as gold must pass through the furnace before it can be fashioned into a crown, you were refined through seasons of pressure. When others walked away, you stayed. When life offered shortcuts, you waited for truth. That restraint was not weakness, it was wisdom. It was heaven's proof that your heart could handle weight without losing worship. Now, the light within you glows differently, not as a spark, but as a steady flame. It no longer flickers with fear of being extinguished. It knows who fuels it. You have become a living altar, carrying the fragrance of endurance. The world might see your calm and think it came easily. But heaven remembers the storms you silenced with faith. The crowned ones are not loud, they are luminous. Their crowns are not made of gold, but of glory quiet, radiant, and unshakable. You, chosen one, wear one now. Even if you do not see it yet, it rests on the part of you that refused to quit. Think of your journey like a mountain climb. You began in the valley of uncertainty, carrying heavy burdens. Every step demanded surrender. The air grew thinner, and the path narrower. But still, you climbed. Now, standing near the summit, the world below looks smaller, not because it has changed, but because your perspective has. That is what crowns do, they elevate your vision. Yet, even crowned, the chosen remain servants. You were not lifted to rule, you were raised to reach. Your crown is not for decoration, It's for declaration that endurance still triumphs, that purity still matters, that faith still wins. The higher heaven lifts you, the lower you must bow in gratitude. Now, chosen one, pause for a moment. Breathe. Feel the weight of glory pressing gently upon you. This is not arrogance, it's awareness. Heaven has entrusted you with influence, whether in words, in presence, or in prayer. Use it wisely. Your crown is both honor and assignment. And if this message speaks to your heart, if you feel the gentle confirmation of heaven stirring within, then let your actions mirror your agreement. When you like, it is not just interaction, it is amplification. You help the message reach those who are still wandering in valleys you've already overcome. When you share, you become the messenger, the torchbearer of light that might just rekindle someone's fading hope. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself in the flow of what heaven continues to release here: reminders, revelations, and rhythm for your journey. And if you are led to donate, do so not as a transaction, but as participation. Every seed you give becomes a whisper of gratitude and a spark that keeps the flame of this light shining across nations. You're not giving to something, you're giving through something, helping heaven's message flow through more hearts, more screens, more nights of doubt. You have walked through darkness and brought back light. Now your life itself becomes the sermon. The crowned ones speak less but mean more. They give quietly, love deeply, and live intentionally. The mark of the tested is tenderness, the ability to hold power and humility in the same hands. We find in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11, "I am coming soon. Hold fast to what you have, that none take your crown." That is your verse, your validation, your visible reward in unseen realms. And now, chosen one, if this message has reached the part of your soul that still believes, let it move you to reflection. Drop a thought in the comments, not for attention, but for testimony. Write what this journey has awakened in you. Let your words become encouragement for another hidden one climbing their own mountain. Because crowns are not meant to be hidden, they're meant to reflect light. Your endurance has become illumination for someone else's darkness, and every act of sharing, every kind word, every gift of support keeps the flame alive. Together, the crowned and the tested form a kingdom not of noise, but of light, steady, shining, eternal, chosen one. When the crown settles and the fire quiets, heaven does not leave you to wonder what comes next. This is heaven's march orders, the moment after the silence, when the command to move finally comes. You have been refined, purified, and crowned. Now, you are ready to be released. The silence prepared your hearing, the trials shaped your strength, the testing forged your discernment. Heaven does not waste experience. Every lesson you learned in the dark is now a weapon of light. When heaven says, "Move," it is not a command of chaos, but a call of clarity. The steps are not random, they are rhythm. You are being invited to walk in sync with the divine pulse that has been beating beneath every moment of your journey. The march orders do not come to the unprepared. They come to those who have proven their obedience when no one was watching. This is not a march of noise or rebellion. It is not driven by anger or fear. It is the walk of purpose, deliberate, calm, and unstoppable. The world will see a people who do not panic, who move without shouting, who advance without explanation. Their confidence will not come from strategy, but from surrender. You are one of them. There will be moments when the movement feels uncertain, when God tells you to leave something that once looked secure, or to start something that feels far beyond your strength. Do not mistake discomfort for disqualification. The stretching is proof of growth. A tree never grows taller without breaking the soil around its roots. Likewise, you cannot rise without disrupting what once contained you. In this march, timing matters. Heaven's pace is deliberate. Move too soon, and the ground won't be ready. Move too late, and the door may close. That is why discernment is your compass. You have learned to recognize the difference between impulse and instruction. Now is the time to use that wisdom. Every pause, every push, every nudge of peace, listen to it. It is not your emotion, it is your guidance system. There is also rhythm in the march. You will not walk alone. Others who have been refined in silence will begin to move beside you, though you may not have met them yet. Heaven synchronise destiny. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people with hearts that recognize yours. The 144000 are not scattered by accident, they are stationed by design. Do not expect this movement to be glamorous. Heaven's orders are often quiet. You might be called to comfort one person instead of crowds, to build something small that holds eternal impact, to stand in prayer for a place no one else notices. Never measure your obedience by size, measure it by faithfulness. The greatest shifts in history often begin in whispers. Remember that Moses' rod looked ordinary until obedience made it extraordinary. David's stone was small until faith aimed it with precision. The widow's oil was little until surrender poured it out. The power of obedience lies not in what you hold, but in how you use it. Heaven's march. Orders are not about new gifts, but about new use of what you already carry. This is a season when heaven redeems time. The years that felt wasted will suddenly reveal purpose. The connections you lost will be replaced by covenant ones. You will find yourself understanding why you had to walk certain lonely roads. The march connects the dots. Heaven never forgets a step of faith. As the prophet Isaiah wrote in the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 21, your ears will hear a voice, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." That is the essence of the march orders. You will not walk blind. The voice that trained you in silence will now guide you in motion. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into fulfillment. So rise. Chosen one. Adjust your footing. Feel the ground beneath you hum with destiny. The time of waiting has passed. You are no longer being hidden. You are being deployed. Move with grace. Walk with authority. And remember, your every step carries light into a world desperate for direction. The trumpet has not sounded for battle. It has sounded for movement. March. Not in haste, but in harmony with heaven. The one who called you has gone before you. Every step you take now is both obedience and prophecy. Chosen one. The march has begun. But the journey does not end with movement. All of it, the silence, the fire, the tests, the tears, the waiting leads here to the final benediction. This is not a conclusion, it is a coronation. Heaven gathers now to seal those who have endured with unshaken faith. You are among them, not by accident, not by merit, but by endurance wrapped in grace. The final benediction is heaven's acknowledgement of obedience. It is the moment where what you carried privately becomes visible spiritually. You may not feel any different, yet everything within you has shifted. The seal you carry now is not written in ink or fire, but in presence. It is the quiet awareness that you belong utterly and eternally to God. Heaven's seal is more than protection. It is identity. It does not make you untouchable to trials, but unbreakable within them. The chosen still walk among storms, but they walk with peace that cannot be stolen. The world sees calm, heaven sees covenant. The seal is the mark of those who no longer live for survival, but for significance. In this moment, heaven looks upon the 144,000 and calls them not servants, but sons and daughters. The great mystery of all your trials unfolds. You were never merely being tested, you were being transformed. Refinement was never about endurance alone. It was about becoming an image bearer of divine nature. You reflect heaven, not because you perform perfectly, but because you trust completely. Every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, you revealed the kingdom. Every time you held peace when others panicked, you manifested authority. Every time you loved when unloved, heaven expanded through you. That is the work of the sealed, to reveal God, not through miracles, but through mercy. The final benediction is also a restoration. Heaven restores what was lost during your preparation. What seemed wasted will reappear as wisdom. What you mourned will return, reformed. The relationships, the opportunities, the joy that felt gone forever, heaven has kept them, refined them, and now returns them multiplied. For what you surrendered in obedience, you will receive in fullness. You will begin to notice divine acceleration, not hurried, but holy. Time will bend around purpose. Delays will suddenly make sense. Paths once closed will open effortlessly because the seal grants access. You are no longer striving for favor, you are moving from it. Heaven goes before you, and grace follows after you. The seal also signifies completion of assignment. You have passed through the gates of testing, the valleys of silence, the fires of purification. Now heaven entrusts you with responsibility to carry light into places that still sleep in shadow. You are no longer waiting for revival, you are the revival. This moment is not for pride, but for peace. You no longer need to prove you are chosen. The seal proves it. You no longer need to fight for recognition. Heaven recognizes you. All striving ends here. The benediction is heaven's exhale over you, the whisper, "Well done." And the ancient words recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 3. "Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God." And you bear that seal, unseen yet unremovable, silent yet sovereign. It is your proof of purpose and your passport through coming storms. The seal does not exempt you from life's battles, but it guarantees your victory within them. The final benediction is both blessing and sending. Heaven does not seal to shelter, it seals to send. You will move among people who have forgotten hope and remind them through presence, not preaching. That light still lives. Your calm will convict, your compassion will convert, your courage will awaken. You will not need to announce your calling. It will announce itself through how peace follows you. Now breathe. Chosen one. The journey has reached its summit. Look back, not in regret, but in revelation. Every detour, every tear, every silence was a step here. The divine story of your becoming is complete, yet still unfolding. The seal is heaven's promise that your destiny is not ending, it is eternal. Walk forward now, not as one who searches, but as one who has been found, not as one who pleads, but as one who carries. You are sealed, crowned, and commissioned. Wherever you go, heaven goes with you. This is your benediction, not farewell, but fulfillment. You are one of the 144,000, and your light will never dim again. Chosen one. If these words have stirred your spirit, let them not end here. Every truth spoken, every whisper received, is meant to live through you. You've walked the path of silence, fire, revelation, and rising, and now the journey becomes a movement. The world needs what you've become. If this message has awakened something within you, let your light answer it. Like this message, not as routine, but as recognition, a silent nod to heaven saying, I hear you. Share it as a torch, carrying warmth into someone else's night. Your single act might be the spark. Another soul needs to remember who they are. Pause, breathe, and comment below what this series has opened inside you, not for attention, but as testimony. Your story might be the confirmation another hidden one has been waiting for. And if your heart feels at home here, subscribe, not to a channel, but to a calling, a continuous unfolding of divine revelation for the 144,000. Together, we keep the flame alive. Together, we prove that light never dies, it multiplies. The message continues through you. You are not the end of it, you are its echo.